Well, hello everyone. Hopefully all is well. I got another cute little project for you. You gotta clean the bed first though. Anyway. Yeah, at the moment I'm not really sure how I'm gonna title this video. I'm gonna try to figure something out though. But basically I wanna build some type of mobile hydraulic power unit. If that makes any sense. Basically imagine like a tractor that you can hook up hydraulic hoses to. You can go anywhere with it. And from that you can get hydraulic power, either single acting or double acting. So I want to build something like that, but like at a small form factor, something that you can haul around on a wheelbarrow, for example, or maybe we'll build a wheelbarrow for it. Now, this is actually the idea that I had when I was talking about installing hydraulic powerhouse for the Kirovets log splitter that we built. This idea kind of evolved from that idea basically. So instead of making like a dedicated hydraulic setup for the log splitter, I figured maybe I can make like a mobile version of it that I can use either on the log splitter or anything else that I would like to power in the future. For example, we could even hook it up to the roller deck, log deck, maybe even make the screener hydraulically powered, so we could power that thing with this setup as well. Maybe a concrete mixer, something bigger that is also hydraulically powered, so we could use this setup there also. So this would be like a universal hydraulic power station, I guess. That's on wheels that you can kind of haul around to whatever you need or wherever you need it, and then power the hydraulics there. I'm pretty sure this thing has like a specific name in English as well. In Estonia it's called hydrojaam. Direct translation would be hydraulic station, but I'm pretty sure that's not it in English. That's probably something else. But I'm pretty sure you guys get the picture, and if I figure out what this thing is actually called, then I'm probably gonna put it in the title or somewhere. But yeah, it's actually overall pretty simple build, I guess. We just need like a motor, pump, reservoir, some wheels. We've got some wheels as well. Steel also, I guess, but I don't have that at the moment. We need to go pick it up. Also like a hydraulic lever or valve block or something like that. And I ordered something else for this project also. I can't remember at the moment, but you know, when it arrives then I will recall. But you know, that's about it. Just kind of zip tie everything together and things should work. Now as for the motor, I did have the option either make it an electric one or a gas powered one. Now obviously an electric one is better because it's more efficient, it's probably more reliable, makes less noise, but I wanted mobility over all of that nonsense. That's why I went with the gasoline version. Plus I don't need to haul like heavy thick cables everywhere, so I can just kind of go wherever with this guy and it will get the job done. Oh, and considering the specifications that I'm planning to make this hydraulic station out, I would need like a at least 10 kilowatt electric motor. That's actually pretty huge. And you know, the biggest electric motor I can power off my power or the wiring I have on the homestead. That's about 4.5. Actually we can do 7.5, but that means everything else has to be dark. So in normal usage I can do 4.5, but maximum is 7.5 kilowatts. So I can't even run 10 kilowatts without upgrading all the wiring on the homestead. So that's not gonna work out. Plus we need to increase the main switch as well, and that's about 6,000 or 7,000 euros to change out. So I think this is the option to go with, right? Now the motor I got, I think this is a Polish manufactured motor, I'm pretty sure. And it's actually not the best option for my setup here, but there are a couple of reasons why I chose this motor. Now, Vevor was kind enough to send a couple of items my way for this project. So they sent me a pump with the valve block, and also the hydraulic reservoir is in there. Now the pump they sent me, it should do the pump over there, also the valve block, bunch of the duct tape as well. So this pump can do 16 gallons per minute at 4,000 psi, which is kind of insane, honestly, considering how big it is. And the maximum RPM rated for that pump is 3,600. But the gasoline engine that I got clocks out at around 3,000. So we're not gonna reach the 16 gallon mark, definitely. I'm not really sure how much we're gonna get with 3,000 RPM, but I'm guessing it's around maybe 13, something like that. Now the place I got the motor from, there were other options as well. And then one of them was pretty good. It had 9 kilowatts of rated power, around 12 horsepower, and it did exactly 3,600 RPM. But I still went with this because oh well. Might as well. Your move, guys. Guess I won. Actually pretty nice hydraulic reservoir. This will be perfect for my project. I was thinking maybe I'm gonna build something myself, but dude, this was only like 100 and something euros, so it's not even worth trying to build anything yourself if this is so cheap, right? And also the pump was pretty cheap, about 100 bucks for that thing, and it came with the valve block. I think if you buy the pump, just the pump, then it's even cheaper, but I'm not really sure about that. I'm gonna put all the links down in the comment section, also the video description. And if you guys are planning to build something similar, or maybe you need it for another project, then check it down below. But why did I get the wrong motor then, basically? It should work still. They will match up just fine. I'm just not gonna get the rated hydraulic fluid flow from the pump. It's gonna be a bit lower. And basically 2 reasons, actually. Number A, it was cheaper, like always. And number B, because that's actually the same engine or motor that the bandsaw mill has. This guy over here, yeah. This guy has been running flawlessly on the bandsaw mill for at least, oh, I don't know, like 8 years at least. And it still works. It works, yeah. The only couple of kinks this guy has is the starter kind of failed pretty soon after I cut the thing. But then I fitted the aftermarket starter on it, and that has been running just fine. And what else? Oh yeah, the throttle speed thing, it doesn't stay down. I'm not sure if that's by design or something's loose. But this hasn't bothered me on the sawmill. I can just kind of hold it down with my finger while I'm cutting the log. So this is not an issue here, but if it's the same on that thing, the build we're planning to do, then we need to lock it down somehow. So idling is not gonna work. And other than that, I don't know, thing works. Thing works, and it will keep working for me. Very good little engine, honestly. Good job, Poland. Also, redundancy, guys. Now I figured if something happened to the band sawmill motor while I was in the middle of the sawmilling movie, then I could just easily swap the motors out. I could take the motor from this build and just put it on there and continue sawmilling and fix the problem later. And for this dude I paid $299, so 300 euros. And the other motor was 435, so considerably more. Plus, keep in mind the horsepower. So this thing is rated for 15 horsepower while the other guy was 12. So for less money we get more horses, but less RPM. So that's the downside, I guess. Still, I think I'm glad I went with this guy. I mean, I have experience with this motor, and I'm pretty happy how it has performed at the sawmill. So I think it's gonna work for this project pretty well. We need to hook these two up somehow. No guys, I don't think duct tape is gonna work. We will figure that bit out later. I probably need some type of plate in between. But anyway guys, I'm gonna go grab the steel for this project. I did order up something, and then we can basically get to work. Obviously a bit much, right? I don't think I have anything like specific for this project in this bunch. I just kind of ran out of steel after making the log roller plus the log splitter. Building all this nonsense. Yeah. Now I kinda exhausted all my steel supply. Almost. So I figured I'm just gonna order the stuff I'm missing, and I might need them in the future. I'm probably gonna use something for this project, but I don't think I need a lot. But actually about $1,000 on the trailer right now. Quite a bit more than I was anticipating, honestly. I thought it's gonna be like $500 or something like that. Oh, and because the order was placed on a new year, I had to pay $70 more. Apparently some factory in Germany closed doors, and because of that the price of steel went up by 70 euros per ton. Now this steel came from Poland, so I'm not really sure how the two are linked. The Germany factory closes down, and that affects the prices in Poland, I'm guessing. But this should be a pretty healthy supply for me. at least for a while. And for example, I did not have that at all anymore. Same story, same story, same story. Did have that, but only a couple of pieces. So this should help me out with my projects for a good bit of time, as long as I don't build anything big, that is. Now, this is kind of a crappy spot for a steel rack. Right now it doesn't matter that much because Super Sister is not here. But you know, if she had the car there, then I have to be really careful when I remove stuff from the rack that I don't hit the car, you know, like that. I think I would need to, I know, sell the Honda if I did like a little dent into that thing. Man, I blame Vevor for sending me a MIG builder. Now I'm addicted to steel. I gotta do all those cool projects. But don't get me wrong, guys. I actually love that. You know, welding is a pretty cool hobby to have. It's kind of expensive hobby, but still pretty cool. And for example, building the roller deck and the splitter, plus a lot of other things. It's been very enjoyable, and hopefully I can continue with such projects in the future as well, as long as the price of steel doesn't go to space. But I guess I do have like a little tip as well. If you want to build something big, if you're on a budget, then don't build it from scratch. Don't build it from zero, and try to find something big that you can repurpose or use on that project. For example, out of that thing, I want to build the screener, so that's like a lot of material already there. I just need to do a bunch of redesigning and stuff. And out of that thing, I'm planning to build the concrete mixer. But what I'm trying to say here is that you know, if you build something like this from scratch and then make it work as something that you need or want, and then money-wise it's not really worth it, I think, because the price of steel is just so insane. You will kind of go into the negatives pretty fast. And usually you can get pretty decent price if you buy something used that nobody else wants. For example, those two I paid like maybe 400 bucks combined, 400, 500 bucks, so totally worth it. But guys, while I was picking up the steel, I kind of realized that I'm missing one more component from this build, and that would be the hydraulic filter. So I went to the hydraulic shop, and the dude at the counter, I told him I need a hydraulic filter with the flange. He asked, do I need a return line or a low pressure filter or a high pressure filter? I told him return line filter, please. I don't think I need anything else here. Then he asked what size needs to be. At that point I had no idea what he means by size. I just told him that the pump's capacity is 16 gallons per minute. Kind of screwed up there, honestly, because I told him 21 gallons per minute. I'm not really sure why. I just remembered this. But anyway, he went behind the corner and brought this thing. I mean, look at the size of that thing, bro. The filter is almost as big as the freaking hydraulic tank. So I kind of screwed up there. I'm not sure if I should take it back or maybe just kind of use it for this project. It wasn't that expensive. I mean, like $70. Actually, almost as much as the hydraulic reservoir itself. So, well, it will work. 100%. It will work. It's kind of over capacity by a lot, but it should still work. Or it will definitely work. So I think I'm just gonna keep it. Put it on this project. It's not worth taking it back. I'm probably gonna save only like $20 or something like that. Not worth it. Plus, look at the bright side. I probably never need to change that filter out. So this is kind of overkill, definitely, but this is what happens if you're really bad at math. Or you can't remember anything. Sucks to suck, guys. But anyway, whatever. Let's kind of get to work. Let's make the trolley first and then try to figure out how are we gonna connect all that nonsense together. I'm pretty sure a bunch of zip ties and duct tape is not gonna be enough. Maybe we need to use some JB weld as well. Yeah, definitely need some JB weld there as well. Gonna try to keep the form factor as tiny as possible. Hey, maybe we could use that as an axle. No? Fine. Maybe we can use those parts to make the frame. I've had these 4 pieces of irrelevant I-beam for a while now. Very good.
Smells like it's not going anywhere, bro.
Whee! I might need to install some air brakes on this guy. I'm not sure at the moment. I think I need to have more weight up front. But it would still be best if most of the weight would be on the axle. So there's like a delicate balance that we need to achieve. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna screw that up somehow. Always do. Stop DJing, man.
everything's square, but it's still a couple of miles off. I think the eye beam is a bit bad. I mean, I did pull it out of the ground, which also moves. Don't worry, guys.
The final layer of protection which will keep the frame from breaking apart is gonna be the paint job. So no need to worry about maybe the bolts breaking or them being crap. The paint job is gonna hold everything together. This crap is starting to take shape. Look at that. Took my measuring tape. Come on guys, it's not funny. You know, so far I haven't used like a single piece of steel I bought. Maybe we can keep the trend up.
kuhu sa lähed? Ole paigas.
What hole, man? The only holes I have are in my pants. Nothing to be seen here. Bro, I was pretty sure it's gonna be like that. Somehow something went terribly correct. But anyway, I think that's about it with the frame. Apart from the handle. And maybe some other things. And I think this should be pretty good. Definitely strong enough. Right? Stop undressing me. Stupid girls. I think let's do the handle next and figure out what we need to do next. Should be probably pretty low to the ground. Not too much. Oh well. You know, honestly, I'm kind of surprised how well those I-beams played out. You know, the handle situation, I did not need to adjust that angle whatsoever. It was already perfect. It's like the loser who made those cuts already knew what he was planning to do with them in the future. What? I mean, that's just amazing. I think it came out pretty good. Plus, I finally got rid of those stupid I-beams. They've been hanging around under that table for at least 4 years now, man. Very good. But anyway, next order of business. One by one, we need to start mounting the parts. And it kind of matters where they are located. Height-wise, I mean. Now, I did a bunch of Googling yesterday, and I was basically trying to figure out how a hydraulic circuit needs to like function, or where the parts need to be. And well, to make a long story short, I kind of forgot about everything. But you know, the couple of things that I remembered is that the hydraulic reservoir, and that guy needs to sit higher than the pump. So we need to mount the motor plus the pump lower than the hydraulic reservoir. Basically, we need to make sure that the pump is gravity fed. We don't want to have like a suction option. That can create air bubbles in the system, and that's gonna lead to a bunch of issues while using the entire system basically. So most likely the hydraulic reservoir needs to be at the very top, and the pump and the motor need to be at the very bottom. Also, I remembered that the return line has to be as unrestricted as possible. I mean, on the tank here we got a nice little 2-inch hole for the return, so that's pretty good. Also, you know, we accidentally bought the bus size filter for the entire system. So, you know, that's definitely gonna help out in the unrestriction department. And as for the valve block, this can be wherever basically, it doesn't matter. That this is part of the high pressure part of the system. And case drain, I mean, yeah, case drain line. I'm thinking about maybe adding one as well. This box sadly doesn't have an option for that, but maybe we can. We can either route it there directly or make like a separate option or a separate port on top. Now apparently the case drain return needs to be higher than the fluid level. For some complicated reasons that I can't recall at the moment. So if we install case drain option as well, then we need to make an extra port somewhere up top, or we can just kind of put it there somehow. And the bus filter. Now apparently it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the hydraulic system where this is located. It can be higher than the fluid level, higher or lower. It doesn't matter for the system. But if you want to replace the filter out, then it's better if it's higher, right? Because if it's lower, then once you undo the filter, the entire tank is just gonna flow out, I think. So we should probably put this guy somewhere higher as well. Other than that though, I don't think we need to do anything else. Unless I forgot something. Which I probably did. Yeah, most likely. Crap. But you know, whatever. Let's start from the lower position first and put the engine first. And I think I'm gonna face it this way. So the pump will be that way, and the hoses and stuff can be in this area. Technically I can put it sideways as well, but I think it's better if we put it like that. The hydraulic tank is gonna be probably at the rear end, because that's gonna be quite heavy. 40 liters of hydraulic fluid, so somewhere over here, but higher than the pump. So maybe somewhere over here. I don't want to take it too high though. I don't want to make it like top heavy. I want to keep the weight to as close as possible to the axle. And I also need to make sure that the hydraulic tank is a bit maybe on this side of the axle, because the handle might be too heavy if it's right like that way. Yeah, it's actually good that I ordered the pump with the valve block, and because I'm planning to install a valve block on this setup as well. This is a standard log splitter valve block, and it does have a locking function, so that's the most important thing. And I think I can adjust that nut to a point where the locking function won't like release. It should be like that. If I just tighten that guy up all the way, then the locking function should always stay on. It shouldn't go to neutral. Plus we can adjust the pressure from that cap if we need to. Well, it kind of depends what we need to use it for. If we need to use it for the roller deck, we don't need a lot of pressure there, so we can adjust the pressure for the roller deck. If we need it for the lock splitter, we can up the pressure. So this will be part of the system. Originally I did not plan to install a valve block on it. I figured everywhere I'm gonna take this guy, that place already has like a valve block, but you know, this won't restrict the flow too much, and it will be a useful addition to the setup. I'm really glad I also got this. Äkki ma nii pidi siis. 167. Üksteist, 12. Nüüd sa hoiad kinni, jah? Putsis, noh. Enne ei oli munnigi, noh. $33 kilos. It's like a cement bag. I think it's a pretty good spot, honestly. Hydraulic reservoir tank somewhere over there. Plenty of room to start the thing. Plenty of height for the pump mount. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. Should work.
That was kind of weird.
Okay, well, that should work as an engine mount. Alright. I'm gonna put the pump on later. I currently don't have the flange thing. Probably need something else as well. So let's do the reservoir mount next.
Okay, that should hold the thing up.
Should work pretty good. I think it's time to take this guy off the welding table before it's too late. I really don't want to do a drop test at the moment. Such a controlled landing. I think we should do the filter next. The easiest option would be to just hook the filter directly to the hydraulic tank with like a little connecting thing. fitting. Yeah, that one. But then it's gonna be lower than the hydraulic reservoir. And wait a minute. Maybe it's not really an issue, you know. Maybe the filter only allows fluid flow one way. Let's ask Google AI. Chick is like a land trader, knows everything. The AI chick is telling us that it does not flow backwards. Generally, hydraulic filters are designed for flow in one direction only and do not flow backwards by design. Huh. So actually that's not a problem then. Apparently. I could get some type of fitting, which is that on one end and whatever this is on other end. And I could just install it there, like that, in that case. Wouldn't need to bolt it down anywhere. That would be a pretty easy solution, I guess. But I'm not sure if that's the best option. I mean, I did a bit of Googling yesterday and hydraulic fittings that size, 2-inch, it's like $40 per piece. They're very expensive. I don't think I have anything that size anyway. But no, we don't need to take it higher, we could install it somewhere else. Then again, it should be cheaper than getting like 2 different fittings and a piece of hose between to do, right? I think if I can, I'm gonna install the filter there. Maybe I can get the fitting for relatively cheap price. So I'm not gonna create a mount for the thing itself. If I can just screw it there, then the hydraulic tank is gonna hold the filter housing in place. I don't need to create like an extra mount for that, right? Let's leave the hydraulic filter there at the moment. Maybe we'll change it later. However, we do need a great amount for the valve block. Not sure where to bolt that guy. Why not? I think somewhere over here would work pretty good. I got the pump down there, valve block above the pump. I could just easily hook them up, you know, like that. Yeah, let's make mount somewhere higher. You know, as of right now, I'm still not like 100% sure how to complete a couple of things. I kind of hate that feeling, you know. The unknownness. Not sure how to do something. But it's okay. We'll figure that crap out. What happened there, man? Look at that. Stupid mice.
keegi tahab juua.
That should be forward gear, reverse with a lock, but I'm guessing that's neutral. However, now if I let go of the lever, it should return the neutral on its own, but it doesn't like go fully, I think. And look at that. Something's spinning up. Just a little bit. Maybe if it gets oil flowing through it, then it's not gonna be an issue. My idea is that I'm gonna hook up all the hoses. From these two ports I'm gonna have the outlets for the actuator, and I'm gonna adjust the locking nut there, so if I put that on, it's not gonna like go to neutral on its own, so it's gonna keep the flow to the actuator, and if there's too much pressure on that end, then the pressure relief valve on this valve block will just divert the fluid flow back to the reservoir. I think that's a pretty good plan. At least I don't see any holes anywhere. So it should work. But I think that's about it, guys. No, if I can get that fitting, then we can just mount the filter there, and we don't need to make a mount for the filter itself. We can just kind of chill there. It should be able to nicely replace it out as well in about 100 years. But other than that, I don't think we need to add anything else. Apart from a bunch of hoses and stuff. Oh, and the pump as well. About the case drain though, I think I'm gonna make a little extra opening up top and weld some type of cheek fitting there. Sort that mess out. I think this is like 1 or 2 millimeters only. what's going on. Climax moment of the movie. And I thought it's gonna be all boring. The handbrake was stuck on the thing. It's an issue with that car, especially during the winter time. If the car sits for like more than 24 hours, then the handbrake just kind of seizes. But you know, I think that looks pretty clean. I don't see anything actually. The pump will filter out the remaining debris. But anyway guys, I'm gonna go to my hydraulic department and I'm gonna try to find as much stuff as possible I can use in this setup. And then I also need to determine what else I need to buy. Because I'm pretty sure I don't have the 2-inch connections or any hoses for that, so I definitely need to buy that. And probably something else as well. But I'm gonna try to find as much as possible from my own supply. I mean, to finish the plumbing. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, the motor as well. I mean the pump. I need some type of a flange which will connect these two together. So I don't have that as well. I'm gonna try to find it tomorrow. Other than that, we could make the wheel mounts as well quickly. Something to make sure the wheels don't come off. It's a 25mm drill. I don't think I have that. 20. Nope. Maybe stepbrother. 30, 35. Come on, stepbrother. You should know how to be stuck. I think we have a bad step. No, I hate these things. Honestly, I hate these things. Once like a step goes bad, throw the thing away. You can't use the remaining drills or sizes. I don't think you can even sharpen these on your own. Maybe with like a special rig. Physically, you can't even see like what the issue is. Everything looks the same. It just won't drill. Ooh. Making something. Bye-bye. Maybe I shouldn't buy cheap €5 stepbrothers. Honestly. Look at that, guys. My custom Walmart cart is finished. I already picked out everything I wanted. I think it's manageable, honestly. Not that bad, not that heavy. We need to put some air into the tires, definitely. Plus, once we fill the hydraulic reservoir, then it's gonna be a bit more weight that way. But if the final product is too heavy, then I was thinking maybe we could also add like a trailer hitch to it. So we could haul it around with the ATV, for example. But right now I don't see that it's necessary. Maybe this is fine. But anyway, I'm gonna go explore around a bit and try to put together like a plumbing setup. I'm gonna try to put everything on this table and then we can put the thing together. So, be right back. Okay guys, instead of a solution I have a catastrophe on my hand. I mean, look at that mess. It's been about a day and a half so far and I don't really have like a good option or solution just yet. And I'm really frustrated at this point. So, things are not really picking up. It's kind of going sideways and then straight into the volcano. I mean, it's kind of like the roller deck hydraulic setup when I was trying to mate like female to female together, and then I ended up welding a bunch of fittings. I kind of hate that, I actually kind of hate hydraulics. I mean, they're cool and all, but it's just so confusing and so complex and so many different standards. There's no universal things. Like everyone are using different things and then you need to like mate different things together. It's just so annoying. Now, the issue kind of arose in this project from the valve block and the pump. Apparently they are NPT threaded, so I don't really have any of that nonsense. I only have BSP and metric and cheek, but even those three are so confusing. So if we add NPT to the mix, then everything is just gonna explode. So that's NPT, half an inch, quarter of an inch, same deal over there. And I did went to the hydraulic shop, but the guy did not have anything in stock. He told me he can order them, but I decided not to buy anything, because freaking 20 euros for a single fitting. So 20, 40, that was a bit less, but still like 15, maybe like something like that. So 70 euros of fittings just for this valve block. A little bit extra for the pump. Oh, the reservoir as well. So that's even bigger because of that size. That's 1.5, I think. 1.2 inch hose down there. To the valve block itself doesn't even cost that much than the 4 fittings would be. That's just crazy. But considering everything kind of worked on the roller deck, the hack jobs we did, I mean, we went through a mountain of logs and nothing technically leaked. I mean, everything kind of worked. Even the female to female connections did not leak, which was kind of surprising. So I figured maybe I can like hack my way through this setup as well. And now I'm gonna try something which I would probably not recommend to do by anyone. Basically, I'm gonna try to force PSP into that MP3. MPT, not 3. Why do you keep saying that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to force that crap in there. Maybe it's gonna work. But actually, I already tried yesterday and it seems to like, I guess, work. I mean, it took a bit of time, plus a lot of elbow grease, but And I got that to mate pretty well. I mean, look at that. That goes in there so smoothly now. I'm not really sure which threads were modified, either on the fitting or the valve block, but now, for example, if this is the hole I haven't fixed, and this is the same fitting, but that's about it. It's not gonna go any further unless you like force it. Same situation with the 1/4 inch. It goes in pretty smoothly now after it was converted from freedom to blimey hell. It's gonna fit now. Now, to be like completely honest, I did almost order up the proper things and put the cash down, but then he told me the shipping time is gonna be probably around 2 weeks, and I just don't have time for that crap. And Spence has a schedule to keep. I need to get the stupid video out by the end of the week or I'm screwed. So I decided to go with the hack solution, and I think we're gonna get it to work. I mean, concerning the valve block, I don't need the threads to seal. That's not important here. The fitting has like a, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's like a little O-ring there or a seal. So that's, once you tighten this thing down, it's gonna go flat with the valve block. So that's the thing that's gonna seal actually. I don't need the threads to seal. That's not important here. Same situation there, and the return, I'm gonna install something differently. Something different, I mean. Basically this is a tapered PSP, so we need to put some tape or something over there, and it will go. We can force that guy as deep as it will go, and I think it's not gonna leak because this is not like high pressure on this end. And once the fluid enters the hose, pressure is lost and through the filter to the tank. So this should work as well, I'm kind of hoping. And that's about it on this end. Now on the pump, I'm gonna try to force the same setup here, and it should also seal with that. Yeah, the O-ring should nicely seal that up. It shouldn't be an issue, unless the threads blow out, but I don't see that happening. I mean, and when I forced that guy into the hole, I don't see like damage to the threads or anything like that. The threads look the same still. I'm just thinking that maybe some of the threads were altered, but I'm not sure if it's on the fitting or the block. It depends which material is stronger, I guess. So that kind of takes care of the valve block. On the tank over here, the tank is empty as well, by the way, but I went to the local supermarket and I found a bunch of like water things, water fittings and stuff like that. So I figured, okay, so you don't need like high pressure fittings for the line that goes to the pump, right? That's low pressure line. And the same situation is with the return line from the valve block. So that's a low pressure line as well. So I don't need a very expensive high pressure fittings for that setup, right? Anything should work. So this is a simple water fitting that's gonna go nicely in there. It's a tapered fit, so it should seal up, but I'm gonna tape it as well. And on this end, I'm not really sure what this is made out of. Maybe cast iron or something like that. But I did find this at the local hardware store, and I think this is tapered as well, maybe. I can't tell, but it goes in there pretty well. Although the thread doesn't match, look at that. It seems to go on pretty good. So I think that's gonna work. Now, as of right now, I should have everything to connect the plumbing up. So we can kind of do that right now. The only thing I'm still missing is the clutch that goes between the motor and the pump. But I should get that in a couple of days. And then we could possibly wrap this mess of a project up. Also, obviously I want to do some testing as well to make sure that nothing explodes. But I don't think anything else should be added as of right now. Maybe apart from you know, a bit of air, because that stupid tire is already flat. It hasn't even done any miles. What a piece of crap. But you know, let's try to plumb this crap together, and if everything works, then I'm gonna disassemble everything and paint the frame. And then we need to wait for the final puzzle piece to arrive. Yeah, what a mess. What freaking mess. Now for sealing the threads, I did find like a little chemical thing. It says drinking water and gas on it, but on the back end it also says for drinking water, heating gas, air, oil, petroleum, and various chemicals. So oil is also listed. Should work. I'm not really sure. Maybe we should use the other thing. But maybe this will work as well. Put a bit more. Maybe we can hydrolock this crap in there. If something is, we can just put the tape later on, but I want to try this product. Maybe it will seal everything up. Ossa perse. Nope, not that. This one, yes. Oh yeah, wrong clamp. Yeah, this is not gonna seal. Oh man, I could buy new lamps as well. I hate shopping when I don't know what I need, especially when going to the hydraulic shop. I don't even know what to say at the counter. People are always confused and I feel like an idiot. And luckily I was able to acquire all the hoses that I needed from the little reservoir I have. Also, lengths were really good. This will be my high pressure feed line. It also has like a turn over there which works perfectly for this setup. It's kinda short, but still guys, if the fittings are so expensive, I mean, how much are the hoses? The hoses are usually more expensive, right? I would think so. The hoses should be more expensive. This is barely gonna reach, I think. Now, for example, on the roller deck project, I saved around 260 euros by not buying a single hose. So that's already a pretty decent save over there. Maybe we should just in case put like some... I mean, I don't think we need it, but... Let's call it insurance. The end kind of gets really hard, but I did manage to reach it yesterday. Okay, I think that should be flat with the wall now. Doesn't go anymore. Oh, this is different. Oh man, I need to do some welding here. This was some weird size. So I need to, first of all, I need to force that guy in there. That's gonna be fun. But if we achieve that, then I need to... Tule ma ei leia siit laua pealt mitte munnigi enam üles, noh. Kus too asub üldse? Oh. I need to cut this in half and then weld one of those halves there instead. Let's try the forcing method first. I have two options. Either I'm gonna force it into that nut or into the body of the pump. But the pump is made out of aluminium, so that's probably not the best idea. Plus this is the pressure side. I need a tight fit. If you put them side to side, then they look exactly the same. Even if you like line them up, the threads seem to match up, but there's like a difference in angle, and apparently the tips of the threads are different as well. But now look at that. From a standing point, they look about the same. But they're not. Stupid threads. That goes in there pretty well, actually. Kind of surprised. It was a lot harder on the valve block. Yeah, I can just tighten it down and forget about it, I think. Oh, by the way, did I mention don't try this at home? No, I can do it because I have access to wrench and stuff. I think that's not going anywhere. Wait a minute, I was supposed to weld something as well. Okay. I don't really see anything, honestly. No debris, no sharp metal flanges. Looks about the same. There's a stupid little O-ring over there that we don't want to damage while welding. Even this thing, guys, 18 euros for this thing. How can it be so much? I don't get it. It's just a stupid steel pipe with some threads on it. 18 euros for that. That's just crazy. I'm not gonna throw the other halves away. I'm gonna try to use them in the future for some witchcraft setup if we need to. And I'm gonna try MIG this time around. Sticking was a bit messy last time.
I'm not really sure. I'm kind of skeptical about that connection though. Maybe we should stick it.
I think that's gonna work, but I'm probably gonna revert back to stick method with the next fitting if I need to weld anything. I'm not really sold 100% on that. Plus there's splatter. Stupid splatter. Who even needs that crap? Yeah, look at that. Perfect house row. Put the pump over there. Amazing. Very good. What do you want? But anyway, let's do the return next, and then focus on the final A and B boards. There's like a little extra thing that I want to add there, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. I think I suck too much for that. Return should be really simple, I think. noh, kus keel on, tühi juba või? Ma pole ka kasutanud seda munnigi veel. Okay, that shouldn't go anywhere. Hopefully that little liquid can hold the liquids in and the threads won't leak. If they do, then I have to redo all of this with some thread tape or something like that. Maybe this guy will go here instead. Get one thing wrong, but the other thing right. Oh, look at that. Perfecto. You can go there, bro. Got plenty of more. Come in. Put it straight. Looks much better. What is that? Giant parts of steel in a hydraulic system. That's always good, right? That's like calcium in your bones. Or something like that.
Kus tööriistad asub? Ma ütlen siin teie hunniga üles, pool tundi teeb mingit tööd ja siis on kõik asjad mingi pargid jumala suva koha peale ja siis mõtled, kus ma panin.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just kind of debating if it's gonna rain tomorrow or not. So my other self told me it's gonna rain, but I don't agree. Okay. I think that kind of takes care of the main plumbing. So we got the feed line to the pump, then we got the high pressure feed line to the valve block, and then we got the low pressure return line back to the tank. Now, apart from the A and B for the actuators, I don't think we really need to add anything else. Now, if one of the builds or something that we plan to use this on has a return line as well, for example the roller deck, then we can just easily hook that up over there. So don't need to route that through anything. The case drain line or return line needs to be like a separate line. It can't go through the standard return line because of back pressure issues. Basically, it needs to be a dedicated line. Oh, and like I mentioned before, the main return line needs to be bigger than the feed line, or roughly the same size. Now on my setup, honestly, I'm not really sure which is the feed line. Is it that, the low pressure line, or the high pressure line? Which one is which one is considered the feed line? I'm not really sure. If it's that, then now this guy should be 1/4 of an inch, and the return line is a 1 inch line. So if that's the case, then the return line in my setup is bigger and I shouldn't have any back pressure problems. Now, if that's the feed line, then that's even smaller. I think that's 1/2 inch, the inside diameter. So still, return line is definitely bigger. That shouldn't be a issue whatsoever. And I think nothing's gonna leak, you know. Guess we'll see later, but let's deal with this now. There's a little extra thing that I want to add here. I was thinking a pressure gauge. I mean, that would be a pretty useful feature, right? Especially if you need to adjust the pressure considering what I need it for. For example, the roller deck, that guy does not need a lot of pressure, so I can tone the pressure down. But for the log splitter, I need to up the pressure, and this would give me that option, you know, to set the pressure to what I need. This is up to 600 bar, so I'm never going to reach any pressures like that with this setup. But connecting it anywhere might be a bit tricky. Maybe let's connect it to the relief valve. Currently, the only option I think I have from this mess is a T-shape. Pretty sure I had one. No, the other one. Oh, there you go. I even have dew. Wow. Yeah, I figured maybe if I can thread this guy in there, it's not gonna immediately go, but maybe we can use the force. Now, if that would work, then but first I think I would try to like mate these two together somehow, and from here I can just weld like a thing like that for a cheek outlet and put it like that somehow. And before I try to mess that part up, let's see if we can mate these two together. I'm thinking maybe like thread that. Try to thread that. 13. I think I make the hole too big. Shouldn't be able to thread it that easily. Actually looks pretty good. It does go in there, but I'm kind of skeptical, honestly. Maybe it's gonna fly out of here like a rocket once the pressures hit space. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna make another hole there, and I'm gonna pick like a smaller drill bit. Maybe I can get the threads a bit deeper. It didn't feel like it went very deep with this one. And this feels okay. This feels like it's actually cutting something. I think it's worth it. Hopefully it's not gonna fly out of here. And this thing has like a tapered edge. I'm not sure if you can see that. And the valve block also has like a counter tapered, like a V shape. Maybe they're gonna match up and just kind of force the cap shut. Or maybe we should put the washers just in case. Maybe this one. Very snug fit. Oota, mida putsi, sa panid valele poole ju. Kuradi täitsa jobu noh, mine põlema pane ennast. Just vaatasid, vale pool, siis paned mina ja tegid 180 ja panid ikka valele poole või. lõpp vend, no võta seda ära siit, no nii tihkelt läks seal peale. Stupid weather. I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. Peaks nagu hoidma küll. Almost kind of forgot. Although the hose fits, it's gonna be a female to female connection, and considering I'm planning to use this for the lock splitter as well, where the pressures are crazy high, then maybe that female is not gonna hold, you know. So I need to add a cheek tip to it. Luckily we can use the same part which we got off before. What are you doing, bro? Absolutely incorrect. You're supposed to weld it there. Wow. Glad I spotted that. And hopefully that can hold some bars. Guys, whenever welding on fittings, then try to always blow them out. There's always some crap inside after the welding process. Minu arust ta tahab veel saada, aga siis ta tuleb võib-olla blokib siia ära ennast või? Keerab mööda küll vist. No, a little bit more. Man, this is gonna face the wrong way. Whatever. I think that should be fine. I don't wanna over tighten it. Probably gonna mess up the threads. Yeah. Use the force, Luke. Make two different things fuse together. What do you think, guys? Which one will get their threads altered? Either the valve block or the fitting? I'm gonna think the fitting, perhaps. That kind of seemed different. Like it had sharper threads. All of you hydraulic engineers are probably scratching their head right now. It's like, what the hell is going on over here? Well, Mr. Hydraulic Engineer, don't scratch too much, might go bald. Nobody wants to be bald. It sucks. Then you always need to wear a hat. Yeah, I might have already said this, but don't try this at home. Oh my. Well, I think that's it. Oh wait a minute. I should probably start my own hydraulic company. And the ant spans thread, guaranteed to be special. Because every fitting is gonna have a random thread. It's gonna be like a puzzle that you need to put together. I mean, what do you think, guys? I think it's an excellent idea, but I'm not sure what to name the company. Maybe Lego, the hydraulic version. But anyway, guys, I think that's about it. On the plumbing side, at least. We got the feed line to the bump, to the super feed line. Then we have a couple of actuator lines. And then we have the return line through the filter, back where the thing started from. It's basically just like a little loop with a couple of twists somewhere. Hopefully nothing will explode, but I guess we'll find out later. Right now I'm thinking I'm gonna paint the frame, and then I need to wait until the final piece of the puzzle arrives. Let's do that. I'm gonna quickly back up the catastrophe so we can... I mean, next time we need to do hydraulic stuff, then it needs to be ready for that. Okay, guys. We have a couple of different choices in paint. I mean, we got some green, dark green, blue, red. Oh, we got some white as well. More red. Yellow. Sky blue. We got a pretty decent selection over here, but let's go with some hammerjack blue. Mostly because this was the first thing in line. Couldn't bother to reach anything else. Maybe that looks pretty good. Plus it's gonna match the red tires, I think. It's just not blue, it's also some like glitter in there. Nice color, I should buy this more. But anyway, I think the paint job came out pretty good. Really like the color. Guess I have a new favorite color. Should paint my face blue as well. Oh no. Give me my thing back. Definitely looks a little bit better. Yeah, Andrew always said that well the tube ends shut, but now I don't have to do that because I'm super lazy. I got even a tattoo that says I'm lazy. It's printed somewhere. Good night. But anyway guys, I'm gonna pick this up once my little clutch arrives. Now, I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but I think it's only the clutch part, so we can only connect the two together. And I still need to build like a housing for it. Or something which will connect there and then also connect there. But I'm not really 100% sure. Maybe it's like a set. Something that you can just kind of bolt on the thing, and then we don't need to make anything. So, be right back. Okay guys, I got the thing now. I'm gonna start wrapping this mess up. So we got that type of clutch setup thing. Now, I've seen these before, but I've never really installed them myself. But technically, like these things, one will go on the engine, the other will go on the pump, and then they will connect together like that. So the engine can run the pump. There's like a little plastic thing between the gears that's for cushioning, I guess, or vibration or play. I'm not really sure, but no, that's how it's supposed to work. We got the that part is basically the same, but the center thing. Yeah, this is like a locking thing. One will go on the engine, the other is differently sized, and it will go on the bump. Yeah. But there's no housing, so we still have to make that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe I can also buy the housing. I didn't ask. I just figured finding the right one which fits those bolt holes and the bolt holes on the bump might be a bit difficult, so I think it's just easier to try to make something yourself, right? Shouldn't be that complex. The guy did tell me that there's like 2 different styles actually. I'm not sure which one will work better for me, but the difference is in the locking direction. You either lock it from this side or the other side. And I figured maybe I don't have enough room to lock it from that end of the shaft, so I got the one which locks up front. Kind of makes sense, right? Get the condom off. That way, I think. Yep. Something like that. Oh man, this key is too fat for this thing. I have to make the key a bit smaller. That's weird. Should be the same size. Both the motor and the bump are actually inch-based technology. It's from the States, or from China, apparently they use inch as well. So that's a 25.4 millimeters shaft. I think that should be like, I think that's 1 inch, right? The other one is 12.7 millimeters, so that's half an inch. There's like no metric in this situation. They should match up nicely. I'm not sure why the keyway is bigger. Or maybe there's an issue here. Maybe this is not a freedom part. Look at that. And spends the freedom exchange. I'm especially good at converting MPT to BSP. Okay, well, let's fire up the hoses and start this thing. Look at that, it even stays on its own. Technically I could make like a separate mount. I mean the motor is already mounted, right? just add like a secondary mount for the pump. Then I wouldn't need like a thing between, but I'm not sure if that's like a good idea. Maybe the motor like wants to move and the pump can't move. I mean, it would be better if it was connected to the motor, right? But maybe it's not necessary. I'm not really sure. Maybe we can just connect it to the frame. I mean the hydraulic pump. It would be a bit easier, definitely. I think it's worth a try. I mean, I can't really see any issues with that. I mean, motors and pumps are mounted separately all the time, right? Oh, by the way, I think the paint job came out pretty good. I'm gonna put both nylon bolts plus spring washers. Gasoline motors are prone to vibrating loose, but maybe that combination will keep it in place. I didn't think that's gonna go anywhere. I mean, oil change is gonna be kind of a sucky situation, but yeah, we can immediately fix that. And put some type of future date here, like 07, and the year, I don't know, 74, 2074. So I don't really need to worry about this after I die. Even the bottom I-beam basically matches up perfectly with this thing. You can easily put like a 10mm steel plate there vertically, and I think it's not gonna go anywhere. I just kind of realized if I add that plate here, then I probably can't remove the pump, you know, anymore. There's just like no way to remove it. But it shouldn't be a problem because I can still unbolt the motor, and then I can pull the motor forward, and then I can access the pump's clutch thing, and then I can undo that clutch thing, and then I can pull the pump out. So we got a couple of extra steps there, but it shouldn't be a problem. I think still going with this method is like right choice. I mean the easier choice. I mean the easier choice that we can redo later. You guys wanna know a fun fact? The giveaway actually doesn't do anything. Honestly, it's more like a backup option, I guess. Because, you know, the way these types of locks, they grip the shaft so hard that you can literally just remove the giveaway. They will hold. At least on my bandsaw mill, I don't have a giveaway for that shaft. The grip of the locking mechanism is what holds the drive together, basically. It's just so strong. And once you lock it down, you can't, if you undo it, you can't pull the thing off anymore. You need to use the third hole to unlock it properly. You got the third hole right there. That's for unlocking purposes. sest aga äkki saab panna võlli veits sügavamale või? Siin pole ruumi, aga siin nagu on ruumi. Vaata, võll läheb meil nii sügavale välja seega. Ei saa ju, oota, saab, tuleb praegu niimoodi. I can put it a bit deeper, I just kind of noticed that. Now we can use the unlocking function. See, it kind of pushes the wedge apart, the dirt hole. Then you can just unlock it like that. Basically, somewhere there should work. Oh, but then I don't have an I-beam under it again. Yeah, then I lose that option. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go back. Thing's fine. Stupid ants pants. Thinks he can make something better while it's already perfect. Wow. Guy should go work at the circus. Scratch that. Guy should own a circus. Even drilling like 10mm is not worth it without the extra hole. I tried it last time I drilled something and it took forever. You had to use a lot of pressure there to constantly clean the freaking teeth. Mida sa tantsid seal, kuradi jobureis? Mingi kõverik oled. I mean, yeah, not worth it, guys. Make the extra hole. Maybe under 10mm, it's fine. Yeah, the stupid measuring tape said 44, I did 45 and it's still too small. What is up with that? Finally, man, some peace and quiet. Shut up! See, guys, that's all you need to do. Smack it against the head sometimes. Stupid crap. Dude, stop stopping, man. May not have enough room actually. Yep. I need to take the both heads deeper into the steel. Should be okay. There's some clearance over there. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Should be pretty okay until some of the bolts decide to come loose, but I guess we'll see with time. It's very little clearance on these things. Now comes the question, did I get the height right? Bloody hell. Not the worst, honestly. But I just need to fill that cap with gold and we're good to go. This part is probably kind of important to make sure the weld doesn't like pull the thing out of plane or something like that. I mean, the clutch does have some play, so you can like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna still spin if it's slightly off. It doesn't probably need to be like super centered, courtesy of that plastic part there. Plus, the plastic kind of wears down with time, right? So eventually the blade is gonna get bigger and bigger. But like I explained before, once I built this thing on, I technically can't remove the bump. without removing the motor first. So I need to unbolt the motor. I can pull the motor that way. Then I can undo the zip tie up front, and then I can remove the motor bolts and pull the motor out. So it's not like gonna get stuck here. It's just gonna be a bit annoying to remove. What's smoking, Doc? Apparently it's my paint job what's smoking. Friend. But I think it's okay, it should hold. I don't think it's gonna fly out of here. I mean, both the motor and the pump, they're kind of mounted on the same frame and they shouldn't move independently, so I don't see any issues with this setup. Although usually they are bolted to the motor, right? At least I've seen them like that. But no, this should also work, technically, I think. It did end up not going slightly against the wall, so I have a little cap there. But I'm not gonna do anything about that right now. I think that's fine. Technically I can undo the motor. I do recall those bolts had a little bit of play in it, so I can move the motor a bit forward. But I think that's fine, it shouldn't matter. Maybe that little cap is even good. But in other news, I think we can pack this entire project together now. And then we can do a bit of testing. Who knows, maybe something will blow up. If not, then this video was all for nothing. There's no climax moment. Right. Now comes the best part. Told you this is the best part. This is clearly the climax of the movie. I mean, if nothing explodes, that is. It's just so good. And to be honest, I wish this tank also had like a dedicated drain block somewhere down stairs. I just kind of realized it doesn't have one. So you could empty the tank if you need to for some reason. That's kind of sucky, honestly. I'm pretty sure I could have added one, but I just kind of realized that right now, so obviously not gonna add one at the moment. I mean, about 30 liters in and it's on the minimal mark. Oh man, that stupid ass bus filter takes more oil than the entire hydraulic system. And this is my last oil. Who's gonna feed the Kirillexes once I run out? I can't afford to buy anything right now. Don't you dare to leak right now. I don't have oil for you. Mis asja? What the crap is leaking, bro? I haven't even fired it up yet. It already exploded. Where's it coming from? Oh, look at that. Filter. Filter not even tightened down. So it doesn't work. Wait a minute. Now, if I would take the filter off, it's still leaking. Why is it leaking? Stop leaking, bro. It's still leaking. What is going on? Coming from the filter, yeah, 100%. But why? Dude, but if I undo the filter, then the thing is gonna drain. It doesn't work. Clearly I did some type of a mathematical error. But why is the filter leaking? It's over tightened already, it shouldn't leak. Maybe there's an issue with the O-ring. Oh, it stopped now. Stopped now. it was leaking on one spot. So weird. Usually you don't need to tighten these things. It even says like 3 turns or something like that. 25 Newton meters, that's basically nothing. It's basically like letting the wind tighten the thing. So strange. No, I think we're good. But dude, if I want to change the filter, then the thing is just gonna de-drain itself. This is not good. Maybe I should add like a valve here in the future. What do you guys think? Shouldn't be hard. Okay, I think that's good enough. Once we fire up the system, some oil will go there as well, beyond the pump. So we're gonna add more as we need. Although, yeah, that filter setup kind of sucks. Now, before I actually fire up the motor, I need to add oil to the thing as well. However, I wanna like hand crank the thing for a while to ensure that the oil nicely flows throughout the system. I should be able to achieve that by just hand cranking it, and then I can confirm if something gets stuck or something like that. Maybe something's connected incorrectly, although I don't think so. But for that I'm gonna remove the spark plug, put a little bit of oil on the top end of the engine as well, so that would not run dry. Yeah, that neck filter is so fine, it can't even pour gasoline through it properly. Look at that. So slow. Oh no! What? Dude! The gasoline did 1-0 to my paint job. Look at that. Stupid gasoline. No, mida putsi, kes selle kinni keeras? Devon, you're not supposed to tighten spark plugs, bro. Stick to arm wrestling. What the shit? What is that? Dude, I can't even undo the thing. Look at that. Who the hell tightened this thing up? Bro.
Ooh la la.
Man. I'm a genius. Ow, 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 ow. Dude, I should work at NASA. What I meant to say was that I should run NASA. My promise is that I'm gonna get the first Giravets to the moon. I think that's a pretty good goal. It feels pretty smooth, honestly. I thought it's gonna be harder to pull, considering we need to also pump by hand while pulling it to start the motor. Now obviously it's gonna be harder once we put the spark plug back, but then this seems pretty easy right now. What is that sound? What is that sound? I can tell, but where is that coming from? Okay. I don't know, it feels pretty good. I think the oil is going around. But then let's try to put the gear in and see what happens now. Dude, what's nothing? You know what, maybe the motor and the pump are not even compatible, you know. I never checked if the rotation was the ding. I know. Maybe it's just kind of needs to rotate the other way. And if that's the case, then I'm screwed. Whoa, getting harder now. Something's up. I think we're not screwed. Yep. Look at that. We got pressure in that line. So I need to put on my helmet just in case. Whoa, what's that? Oh, I think the pump is trying to turn the motor the other way. But I think it works. I mean, everything seems to point to work. Currently, I'm not sure what. Is that the neutral? What the hell? That's weird. This valve block is a bit confusing right now. But I think we should start the thing up. Yeah, I'm gonna put the spark plug back. Yeah, this seems like a much better option than the stick. Now, I am excited, but also kind of scared. mis see on ja off on, siin pole isegi on-off'i kuradi silti nahku. Dude, the motor doesn't even have like a sticker which says it's on or off. I think we need more RPM. Why does it stall the engine? That pump should not stall the engine. It's like 200 bar right now. Dude, this kind of sucks if it stalls the engine while you're splitting logs, right? 200 bar is a bit high though. I would rather be at like, I don't know, 170 or something like that. The pressure relief valve should open and then the motor should be like, still run, right? Now, I haven't touched the pressure relief valve, maybe that's like infinite pressure. Look at that, it still stalls the engine. That's not normal. I'm not sure where the pressure went though. I know the valve block kind of acts strangely. I mean, if I like completely put it in, then it works, but it immediately starts the motor. But if I'm keeping it like somewhere in the middle, then the motor is struggling, but there's no pressure. So I'm guessing that's kind of going through the bypass then. But no, even if, I mean, the oil has nowhere to go, right? It should still go through the bypass back to the tank, not stall the freaking engine. Something's amiss right now. I'm not really sure. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go grab like a cylinder. Then try to do that.
Ooh. What's that? Looks like a speaker from someone. The boat looks clean. I don't see any. Yeah, the bolt is dry. Maybe it should not tighten up.
Oh man, I'm gonna connect this crap together. What the hell is this? Ivan, blad. Very good job. zero. That's enough. Läks sisse. Cylinder jumped out faster than I could even notice it. What was that, like 200 miles per hour? Holy hell, maybe there was air trapped inside. That was so weird. 290 bar. Dude, what the fuck? That is too much. 290, man. That is way too much. That's like 100 bar more than on the other thing. It looks like it's you know, the gauge. It doesn't go instantly. It takes a bit of time for the gauge needle to arise, I guess. So I just kind of wiggled it a little bit. Gauge went up slightly and then kept climbing until it stopped. Then I wiggled it again, gauge went up. And the engine stalled at 290 bar. That's way too much. I don't need that type of pressure. Basically this pressure, it will turn the girouette splitter into like a 40 or 35 ton splitter from a 20 ton splitter. So that's just insane. I don't need that amount of power there. I mean, 20 tons split absolutely everything. There was another single log who could stop that splitter at 170 bar. I don't need 290, so we definitely need to tone that crap down. Dude, just imagine giving that pressure to the log roller deck. Holy moly. The chains are gonna enter escape velocity, bro. I'm not gonna be able to even recover them. They're just gonna straight to space. Straight to space, man. Yeah, definitely need to tone this pressure down. That's just insane. But dude, speed. Did you see that? Speed is insane, bro. Yeah, on max RPM, the cylinder just flew out. I didn't even notice it going out, you know, it just kind of teleported from one spot to another. Maybe if I slow the thing down, then it looks a bit more normal, but that was just way too fast, bro. Now, even idling, the cylinder moves so fast. Okay, that's a small cylinder, but still, that moves way too fast. I'm not sure how I'm gonna use this setup on my roller deck because I need slow flow rate there. This is definitely too fast. It's gonna make the logs fly through the Gandalf barrier. I don't need that. But on a plus note, everything kind of works. I mean, nothing's leaking. I didn't see any leaks anywhere. Even the stupid filter stopped leaking. Nothing here, nothing here. Even the converted thread is not leaking, so that's very good. Even at 290 bar, man. Oh, by the way, Age of Empires is such an amazing game. I mean 1 and 2. 3 not so much. And who even plays the 4th? Wait a minute, there was a 4th game as well. Whatever, I don't even remember that one. But dude, everything just kind of seems to work. I mean, there is some weird grinding sounds or whining sounds coming from this compartment, but I'm not really sure what's causing that. I mean, everything looks about the same. I think I should not worry about that right now. Dude, speed is just catastrophically huge. You know, I kind of want to hook it up to the gyro splitter, honestly. That would be pretty cool. Roller deck, not so much. I need to get the speed down first. I guess I could add like some type of limiter valve. I think I even had one somewhere. That one. Here we go. So this is a flow limiter basically, but it has a downside. It generates drag inside the hydraulic system, and that heats up the oil pretty fast. So this is not like a very good option for that, because it puts a serious load on the engine as well. I think we need to perhaps do a little upgrade to the roller deck itself. Get like a bigger gear or something. I'm not really sure at the moment. $300 bar almost. Man. Are those Vevor engineers on crack? Man, even the hoses are not even rated for that pressures. Oh yeah, 245 bar. The hoses are even gonna explode. They can probably take more, but gotta respect the rating, right? Basically, I think I need to like turn it outwards. There should be a ball with a spring in it. If you turn it outwards, it will relieve the pressure on the spring, so the fluid can push the spring with the ball a bit easier. I think it's supposed to work like that. It would be cool if there was like an access port somewhere over here that would let you know where you could hook up like a pressure gauge. And the valve block doesn't have any more like ports anywhere. So maybe that will be like a additional feature in the future. Because from here you should get like instant pressure, right? No, if I want to get a reading on this, I basically need to put maximum pressure on this line, correct? If there's no pressure on this line, then this is showing also 0. So that's kinda inconvenient setup, I think. Maybe if I would have installed it there instead, it would be better. About 100 bar now. Didn't start at 100. Freaky nitro cylinder. That is kind of fast. But guys, I think it works. And nothing exploded. Everything it works. Even the incorrect fittings are not leaking. I think we should take it outside and hook it up to the gear with splitter and do some fire with splitting. I want to try it out honestly. See how fast it moves that giant ram. Maybe it's about the same. You know, that cylinder is quite small. The gear with splitter has quite a bit bigger cylinder. Maybe it's about the same. You know, on concrete this feels pretty good. In snow a bit harder, but manageable, I would say. I don't think it merits a trailer thing just yet. Maybe if I get older and start falling down a lot. That's the feet line, yeah. Oh no, it's the wrong way. Wait a minute. Feet line on this side. Yeah, so this one. Got lucky there. Wow. Okay, so I think it's connected up correctly now. So the red is the feed line. If I put the lever that way, that's the locking function. I may need to still adjust the locking strength. Not sure about that right now, but feed line goes back here. Return line there. Should work. Flip something around. But Dude, that's way faster than what we had with the Yanmar, right? I think we should go cut that firewood. Freaking firewood. I thought that crap ended. Yeah. I think we just need to max it out so it wouldn't go to neutral on its own. Okay, so I think no further testing is required. Obviously, I'm not gonna hook it up to the freaking roller deck. I don't need that thing to take off. I mean airborne. So let's go back to the office. Let's discuss a bit. There you go, baby. Okay, so negativities. It's loud, it makes a lot of noise. It's gasoline, consumes probably more fuel than a diesel engine would, yeah, most likely. But that's about it, I think. I don't think there's anything else. Those two. Right? Maybe there's something else. At least I didn't notice anything at the moment. But positivities. It's mobile. I can just gonna take it everywhere, you know. I can use it on several different things. Okay, I know those two also go to the tractors and Yanmars and stuff, then kind of, but still kind of considering them as positivities here. So, but third would be more pressure. We can actually cook this guy up to, I don't know, 290 apparently. It was set like that. I'm pretty sure the pump can do 400 psi. I'm not really sure what that translates into normal units. Pretty sure the valve block is designed for 300 bar. The hoses are apparently 245, which are a bit low. But yeah, you can do more pressure, so that's definitely a plus. For example, the Yanmar and the Bobcat, everything kind of clocks out at around 170. They rarely go over 200. And the tractors have like bigger pumps and they don't really usually operate at high pressures. Smaller pumps kind of tend to deliver more pressure. But fourth would be flow rate. Definitely have higher flow rate than what we had at Yanmar, because even at half throttle, it's delivering maybe like 20-30% faster ram movement compared to the Yanmar. So yeah, it will just kind of work faster. But that's also a negativity when we want to cook it up to the roller deck. But yeah, I think that's about it. Four pluses. So it's kind of equal if we don't count the first two. I guess I just have to get like real world feedback from it. So I need to do like a job with it, I guess. Can't really make up my mind after splitting one log. I really liked the Yanmar setup because of one reason. It was quiet. It was relatively quiet. You could just kind of relax and split logs. Now this thing is just kind of splattering next to you and it's making a lot of noise. So that's something to point out definitely. Oh, and about the roller deck. Now, I did have one idea while I was hauling it back here. Maybe we could switch the bump out for that. You know, there are bumps which have very low flow rates, maybe like 12 liters per minute, something like that. I mean, that would work pretty good with the roller deck. We need very low flow rate there and not a lot of pressure, so we have to keep that in mind. But you know, swapping the bump out is probably not that easy with the setup I have right now, unless the new bump would be roughly the same on everything, which is highly unlikely. But that would be an option, right? Just kind of swap the bump out to something weaker. And it's probably not going to cost very much as well. It would be a pretty simple upgrade, I guess. Oh, about the cost, guys. Yeah. I kind of spent more on this project than I kind of anticipated, I guess. I thought it's going to be like at least below 500, but it kind of went over that. Now, I was able to get the hydraulic reservoir free from Vevor, but I had to buy the pump, the valve block, and the motor. But now let's just kind of consider as well that I had to buy the reservoir also. So it would just kind of be like 300 for the motor, 150 for the pump plus valve block, so that's 450. Reservoir was 100, so that's 550. I did not buy any fittings, as you guys saw, so we can still like, I guess like $100 on fittings. Let's just consider that. And you don't probably have like 3 giant boxes of hydraulic hoses, so you would need to like get hoses as well. 550, 650, let's say like 100 on hoses, that's 750. Oh, the filter was $70, so 820. 820 for that. Hydraulic oil, 40 liters of hydraulic oil. I think that's like €4.50 per liter. So how much is that? Stupid head. Why can't it do math? Oh yeah, I was sleeping in the math class. Makes all the sense in the world now. 40 times 4.5. That's 180 for the oil. And what was the other number? 720. 180 plus 720. That's $900. $900 out of pocket if you build it from scrap. Oh man, the steel as well and the tires. Yeah, forgot about that. Crap. Well, I did get like €1,000 worth of steel, but I don't think I used anything out of that pile on this build. But still, let's like say $100 on steel. That's, yeah, about $1,000. About $1,000. Quite a bit of money, actually. Sometimes I think it's not like worth building stuff from scratch, and rather just like look at open marketplaces. Maybe you can buy something that will work for you for much cheaper. I mean, I'm gonna try to find like a comparison with this power setup online, how much hydraulic power bank like this would cost. Keeping the numbers in mind, we have a 15 kilowatt motor and like 50 liters per minute of flow. And I'm pretty sure I can't find like a gasoline version, so I'm just gonna look for an electric version. Actually, I haven't seen any gasoline versions on sale. So we have some here, but these are 12 volts, 2 kilowatts. That's $300. Okay, I guess this is kind of like what we have, but something bigger. 4.2 liters per minute. What is that? Dude, I have 50 liters per minute. Much faster. 11 liters per minute. 3.4. 8.7. Now 20 liters per minute is 1,300 euros. So that's already more. Oh man, there's a lot of them here. But I guess the closest comparison would be a 20 liter per minute at 7.5 kilowatts. And that's 1.3 grand. But this guy is at 50 liters per minute at 15 kilowatts. So it has, 10 kilowatts. Sorry guys, that's 15 horsepower. Yeah, 10 kilowatts at 50 liters per minute. So that's actually more than what that was. So I'm guessing like 2 grand if you wanna buy like a same setup with the same specs. So we built it for 1, I guess, win, right? I don't know, 1 seems a lot as well. What do you guys think? I mean, pretty cool little thing, honestly. I think it will be very useful in the future if I do end up using it somewhere, which I'm intending to do. But yeah, I don't think I have anything left to add, honestly. Now, if you guys ever have any ideas how to get the flow rate down without changing the pump for the roller deck, then down below. And also, maybe we can fix the noise somehow as well. Could put an electric motor there, but I can't. I don't have the required wires or power on the homestead. I would need to use like a generator, and that's still gasoline motor plowing away next to you. So that's not gonna work for me. Although I do have an electric motor, like a 10 kilowatt electric motor. I could totally put that here, but I can't power it properly. Yeah, I think this build was kind of worth it. Kind of fun, actually. I'm very impressed that it actually works. And I'm gonna go now. Have to go to the movies in about 15 minutes. Bye. Bye.